They told me that I need to be fast, but I will try to say and tell you the most important thing and the most interesting parts of this study program, which is, of course, a second Bologna cycle master study program with a duration of 2 years, with 120 ECTS, just few general basic characteristics of the program at the beginning. So at the very end of the program, our students achieve a professional title, Master in Intercultural Management. And of course, since it's an international program with international students, it's also taught in English. Let's see a little bit of background of this program. It was first accredited in Italy at this beautiful medieval university town, Turbino, in Ity. Carlo Bo is the specific name, so University of Urbino, Carlo Bo. And firstly, it was a single study program, but later on, a few years ago, it became just one of the tracks of the Master in Modern Languages and Intercultural Studies. These 3 tracks are listed here. So one is teaching and research, the other one, cross-cultural human resources development and communication management, originally in German name. So this is a dual degree with German university. And of course, the third one is the intercultural business communication, within which or with which we have a dual degree agreement actually with Urbino University. And therefore, since Urbino is one of the establishing members of EMUNI, we accredited this program also in Slovenia through a procedure of notification by Quality Assurance Agency. Can you hear me well? Okay, there are some people in the background. We accredited it and started in 2014, 2015, every year with at least one cohort of students. So the main goals of the two goals of the program are to provide students with advanced linguistic competencies, which focus on the field of international business. So it's actually, since the program goes under linguistic umbrella of at Urbino University, it is of course a language-oriented study program, but with focus in the intercultural business environment. And secondly, it is the goal of the program to acquire those valuable skills, of course, in the areas of intercultural communication marketing. So to be able for the students to elaborate marketing and promoting strategies in the context of international business. There are many general competencies that I prepared, but just let me do an overview of them. So the competencies are focused into achieving skills and knowledge that the students are able to work in an international and culturally diverse environment and solve all those issues that are arising in the business sector, business area. So they're dealing with cultural differences in the multinational companies, institutions, where of course there is more and more cultural diversity and which needs special knowledge and skills to deal with. There is focus, of course, in at least 2 foreign languages, so they get those skills and competencies to be able to work efficiently and communicate efficiently, of course, in writing and speaking into at least two languages. And then, of course, I listed a little bit or the most important skills and knowledge that they get in the fields of language and international business communication, intercultural dialogue, and intercultural relations, web content management and internet marketing, intercultural marketing and negotiations, internationalization strategies, and the global socio-economic processes, which are knowledge and skills that, of course, need not only in multinational
الله يحفظك يجزيك الحمد لله الحمد لله
businesses, but also growing.
هلا.
Can you just please turn off the microphones? Thank you.
فوقاش اليوم. الله الكويت.
In the meantime, I hope they don't.
Time to time, you know, we at least hear someone because we don't see.
That's nice. Yeah.
Good point.
That's nice. Maybe it's better to put on mute everyone.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay, but you know, they open.
Okay, but then
hopefully. Okay. So as I said, of course, with growing business online, this is even more important. These skills and knowledge are more and more important because we need to adapt to the global population and, of course, the global culture. So many different cultures you have to deal with. And another specific of the IBC study program, as we call it shortly, is the practical training for the internship course, which is an obligatory course within the program in second study year, in the second semester of the second study year, where the students get additional knowledge in the field, in the international companies and the selected companies and institutions where students are sent are of course of international level and cultural diverse environment. They have to work there for 120 hours, or which is about 3 to 6 weeks. It depends whether it is a full or a part-time work. And these are, of course, the specifics that we seek when we are getting or trying to get agreements with companies in the diverse cultural and international environment. The mode of implementation at EMUNI is a blended learning and teaching, which means that we seek of having 60%, approximately 60% of face-to-face teaching and learning and 40% online. So for the face-to-face periods, students come to EMUNI to Iran twice per year for approximately 5 to 6 weeks, while the rest is implemented as online through the Moodle and G Suite platforms, as synchronous and asynchronous means, so through video conferencing and then asynchronously through the online tools that are offered through the platforms. As said, there are 2 face-to-face periods of 5 to 6 weeks, and this way of teaching and learning showed that allows students to combine better their work and studies. Regarding the curriculum, here you can see the curriculum of the IBC study program. As said, the language, we have 2 languages, one in English. The first one, language A, is in the first year English, and of course it's continued in the second year, while the second language B is one of the listed, or French or Arabic or Italian or German or Slovenian, but we can offer more. The languages are specifically and not, let's say, so in line with the Bologna system, are performed through both semesters, just mainly because the importance of the continuous learning of the language. Okay, and similarly is then repeated at the level 2, so language A2 and language B2 in the second study year. Both courses amount of 9 ECTS, while the rest of the courses 8. There are two cultural languages, two cultural courses, one in case of language A, so it's for sure in our case English, and the culture of language B, which depends, of course, which language is chosen for language B. Yeah.
Okay, one question. The students choose the language in language B, or like, so for example, if he's Arabic student, he will choose Arabic because it's easier for him now. So if he's Arabic, they will give him another language. They prevent him to take an Arabic class, for example.
Great question. We are dealing every year with this. It's not a problem, but it's a systematic issue that is not solved. But we don't offer, let's say, Arabic language for native speakers.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So they need to choose another language. So
that's mandatory, two languages.
Exactly. So, and just because we are now on this topic, I can explain that usually we try to adapt or try to make homogeneous groups. So in case that there are students with enough knowledge in, let's say, French language, we offer French. But if there is a diversity, it depends, of course. If it's a big group, okay, you can make 2 groups. But if it's a small group, we then decide maybe to give a language that none of the students from the cohort already knows or is not with high level of its knowledge. Yeah.
Let's say you can implement such a program when you have a lot of students, no? Because you have diversity, you can offer the diversity. But in the last year, because let's say English is somehow a must, and no one is here from English. And in the last years, we decided to offer the Italian language. The Italian language, because for sure no one of the enrolled students knows Italian. This was, let's say, one precondition. And the other was that if you saw the signs here in the neighborhood, we are in bilingual territory. So we are speaking Slovenian in Italian. Okay, and also in the schools we have in Piran, we have Slovenian school and we have Italian elementary school because we have the Italian minority and they have, according to the law, the right to speak Italian. And all the signs, all the names of the towns are Slovenian in Italian. Okay, so that's the second reason that they decided for Italian. And the third reason we will also explain later, because we have this agreement with the Italian University Urbino. Okay, so let's say this was a practical decision to offer the Italian language.
So yeah, in the last year, we mostly offer to students, especially our students are coming from the South Mediterranean countries. And therefore Arabic is their mother tongue. And that's why, and since they're most of the time they have different knowledge for, let's say, for French, for example, which is common language of instruction even in some countries, like Morocco, etc., but not for others. Yeah, and then we decide based on that to offer Italian, which is also good to learn in an environment that is bilingual, and Italian is one of the official languages even here. And it's studied even in Slovenian schools from the first elementary school, from the first elementary class. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we adapt a little bit also on the possibilities that the region offers. So if we continue, so you see one cultural language is in the first semester, the other in the second semester, and then the intercultural negotiations and the internet marketing are already in the first study year. Of course, again, one in the first and one in the second semester. And for the last, they can choose one of the 3 mandatory elective courses, which are offered to students. And this is based on their interest, and of course, even those courses, we try to agree with students so that the majority of them is for one of those, so we can have the group and interact more conveniently with each other and with the teachers. Let's move on to the second study year. As I already said, there is the upgrade of language A and language B, which doesn't change from the first study year, is just upgraded. But then they have web content management and intercultural marketing. And then the optional elective. So as you see, there is a lot of interculturality in the courses. So this topic is very well covered. And I have to say that also the program has been changed in the last year, 2 years ago. And these are the 2 new courses that were introduced beside the internship, which comes on the schedule in the second semester. But before that, there is also an optional elective course. The optional means the difference from the first study year is that the optional is the course that students can choose or from the list or from the courses that EMUNI is offering, or from any other study programs at EMUNI. So within the IBC program, we can offer these 5 courses, but at other study programs at EMUNI, they can choose also a course of interest, or if we agree with another university, they can even choose a course from other Slovenian university or even elsewhere if they're, for example, entirely online. Okay. As you see, there are two asterisks here because, of course, if students don't choose one of the 3 courses that were offered in the first study year, they can even choose it in the second study. And basically, the international business communication was earlier, before the changes that were made at Urbino of the program we needed to follow. This was an obligatory course. While internationalization strategies, and internationalization strategies, they were both obligatory courses previously, but now are put under the elective ones. Okay, and of course, to conclude, they go in the second semester for an internship in a company. I will maybe talk about the internship a little bit later when I will present the curricular mobility, which is in the next slide. And the master thesis is then 14 ECTS. So regarding the curricular mobility, students have few possibilities. Of course, these mobility opportunities are allowed and encouraged to be part of student studies. And the first possibility, of course, is the internship course within the program, within the curriculum of the IBC program. I said last 3 to 6 weeks in an institution in the fields of economy, business management, and marketing. But of course, students have the possibility also to choose from the companies and institutions that are in our EMUNI network, or select their own one in their home countries as well. But of course, with a special agreement. With special conditions that this company needs to meet. They are supervised by a mentor in the company or the institution, and the total amount of work that needs to be performed is 120 hours plus a few hours for organizational logistics and reporting of the internship. The second option is the Erasmus Mobilities, where students can get funds for travel and accommodation. The first option is the Traineeship Mobility, which lasts at least 2 months. And it's possible from the second semester in the first study year, and could be, of course, combined with the internship course. So if the student decide to go on traineeship already in the second semester of the first study year, and if they prepare everything and agree everything so that meets the conditions of the internship course, regarding the reporting and the mentors and the agreements with the company. It can be combined and then recognized later in the second study year. Okay. Then the next option for mobility is the study mobility for students, which lasts at least 3 months. The performed courses at the receiving institutions could be recognized at the EMUNI, and this is done somehow in advance, if possible, but even changes could be then made to it in case the student decide to take other courses than the ones that he planned or she planned. Of course, the recognition of the courses performed in the receiving institution is based on the course syllabi, and it could be entirely recognized or just partially. It depends on the course holder at the EMUNI when he compares or she compares the syllabi of his or her own course at the EMUNI in comparison to the other one at the receiving institution. We have a special agreement with the University of Urbino on the implementation of the study program. So we offer same courses in same semesters, so that our students have the possibility to maximize, let's say, their time being there and the courses that he or she performs, so that can be recognized later when he or she comes back from the mobility. But the condition is the Italian language knowledge at the B2 level. Of course, at Urbino, they are offering intensive courses before the students are coming. It's similar for their German dual degree and similarly here. Beside that, of course, students can choose also to go to other higher education universities. As usual, plenty of interinstitutional agreements around the Mediterranean region. And the next curricular mobility is the mobility for teachers. Staff mobility for teaching, which needs to last at least 2 days for the European countries and at least 5 days for non-European countries. So if the teachers are going outside Europe, they need to spend at least 5 days in that higher education institution. Again, with Urbino, of course, we have another agreement so that we can exchange staff, so their teachers coming to teach at the EMUNI and vice versa whenever possible. And for the last thing, just to go through the dual degree that we have with Urbino, some benefits of it. Of course, studying abroad for a student is a great international and intercultural experience, where they have also a great opportunity to learn new languages, and later on they are more competitive when they're coming home and trying to get a job in their own countries. But of course, when they want to work abroad, it is easier to get them the degree recognized in the country that they want to work, and with even more if the country is the same where he or she studied. Of course, with the dual degree, you don't need to go through extra semesters or extra study years, so you can do it throughout your regular studies, since the courses are being recognized between two institutions. So if our students from EMUNI are going to Urbino, they need to have at least a B2 level of Italian language, similarly as I said previously, sorry, with a 2-week preparatory intensive course at Urbino. And the condition is on their side that the language B course cannot be Italian, because if they want to get a degree in Italy, of course, is not a foreign language, since the program is focused on getting competencies in 2 foreign languages. Italian is not the case in Italy. And the last condition is that our students need to get or achieve 30 ECTS at Urbino within the semester spent over there. And which is the ideal period for going to Urbino for the mobilities and for the dual degree is the 3rd semester in the 2nd study year. Vice versa, there are slight differences for the Italian students coming to EMUNI. Language A at EMUNI is English only. So because Urbino offers for language A even French and German, but we don't in our case because of the specificity of the pool of students that we have. The language B can be also Italian language. So in our case, this is a foreign language, and it could be recognized. And the 3rd condition is similar to that for our students going to Urbino. It's the 30 ECTS achieved here at the and of course the 3rd semester is the period most appropriate for coming to mobility. That's it from my side. Thank you for your attention. If there are any questions, just go ahead. Thank you.